Alright everyone, let's talk about these 7 ballers who ain't exactly smashing it this season. You know, the ones who make you go, what's happening? So let's dive into it. 1. Ilkay Gündogan. Man, Gündogan was a machine at City before he left for Barca, but after a short Barcelona stint, he returned to Manchester City this season. And meh, I can't lie, he's not the same guy who carried City to their treble. At 33, you can tell his legs are just feeling the grind. The dude just looks slower on the ball, and his sharpness isn't what it used to be. His stats tell the same story, fewer progressive carries and fewer key passes. If you think about it, his time at Barca might have played a part in this dip. Over there, he played a more chilled role, but now he's back in Pep's high-intensity team. That ain't easy to readjust to, especially at his age. It's like asking someone to sprint after they've been jogging for a year. Gündogan's still got the brains, no doubt. But the physical side, yeah, it's fading. If Pep's smart, he'll manage Gündogan's minutes better, play him in key games and let him chill for the rest. It's tough though, because we all remember him at his best. Seeing him now feels, I don't know, off. Like, how do you go from treble hero to this in just a couple of seasons? The next player also plays for City. 2. Bernardo Silva. Now, Bernardo. Bro, what is going on? This guy used to be pure fire, silky on the ball, always making things happen. But this season, it feels like he's just vibing on the pitch without actually doing much. I mean, he's still a key part of City's setup, but he's not influencing games like he used to. It's weird. Take that 4-1 loss to Sporting, for example. Normally you'd expect Bernardo to step up, right? But nah, he was invisible. And if you've watched City this season, you'll see the same pattern. One game he's alright, and the next you're like, wait, is Bernardo even playing? Some people are blaming City's overall form, and yeah, the team has looked shaky at times, but let's not act like Bernardo's blameless. He's one of the leaders in that squad. If City slip in, you'd expect him to step up and drag them through games, but he hasn't. Maybe he's just tired. Dude's played a ton of football over the years, or maybe it's something deeper, like a mental block or something. Either way, it's kinda sad seeing him like this, like it is for Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker. This one hurts, man. Walker's been a beast for City and England for so long. His pace, unreal. His defensive positioning, top tier. But this season, he's looking washed. I can't lie, it's like father time finally caught up with him. If you've seen City in recent games, you know what I'm talking about. Against Brighton and Bournemouth, Walker got cooked. And don't even get me started on that game where Adama Traore and Timo Werner turned him into a meme. Bro was getting skinned left, right and centre. It's mad because Walker used to eat those guys for breakfast. Even this newbie Ahmad absolutely skinned him in the Manchester derby. At 34 though, it makes sense. He's not as quick as he used to be, and his stamina isn't holding up in Pep's system. Word is, Pep's planning to let him go next summer, and honestly, that might be the right move. Walker's been an absolute legend, but it's clear his best days are behind him. It's tough to watch though, because you never want to see a player fall off like this. 4th on the list is Leandro Trossard. Trossard was meant to be Arsenal's secret weapon this season, but instead, he's been a bit of a flop. Let's not sugarcoat it, he's struggled. Only a few contributions in 13 games? Let's be real, that's nowhere near good enough for a team chasing the title. Last season, he was balling out, linking up with the likes of Saka and Odegaard, but now, it's like he doesn't even know his role in the squad anymore. Part of that's on Arteta though. Arsenal's tactics have shifted and players like Havertz and Martinelli have stepped up. Trossard's been left in this weird limbo where he's not a starter, but he's also not really making an impact off the bench. To be fair, he's not getting any younger. At 30, he's probably hit his ceiling. Arsenal's a young, fast-paced team, and Trossard's just not fitting in that mold right now. If he doesn't pick up soon, you gotta wonder if Arsenal will move him on next summer. Either way, he's gotta figure it out because right now, he's looking like a dead weight. Let's go to Liverpool. 5. Andy Robertson. This guy's been a proper machine for Liverpool for years. He's the type of player you could always count on, bombing up and down the left flank, throwing in those pinpoint crosses, and just being an all-round solid defender. But I can't lie, this season's been a bit meh for him. The guy's been unlucky with injuries, especially that shoulder injury, which sidelined him when Liverpool needed him the most. And even when he's on the pitch, he doesn't look the same. The pacey wingers are giving him a proper hard time. Remember that game against Arsenal? Saka had him on toast. Robbo just couldn't keep up. It's like his age is creeping up on him, and those years of non-stop football are taking their toll. He's 30 now, which isn't ancient, but in football terms, that's when you start losing half a yard of pace. And for someone like Robbo, whose game relies so much on energy and running, That's a big deal. Then there's that red card he picked up recently against Fulham. You know Robbo, he's usually so composed, but that touch was awful, and the challenge was even worse. You could see the frustration in him. Liverpool fans love the guy, no doubt, but some of them are starting to ask if it's time to find someone younger, someone who can bring the same energy he used to. It's mad how quickly things can change in football, innit? Still, he's a leader in that team. You can see how much he means to the squad. He's always rallying the troops and keeping the vibe up. But being a leader isn't enough if you're not performing on the pitch. Liverpool are flying high this season, so the pressure's on for every player to pull their weight. And Robbo's got to step up if he doesn't want to get left behind. I hope he does step up though, because when he's in form, there's no better left back in the game. Next is a goalkeeping legend of the game. 6. Manuel Neuer. Ha, Neuer, the legend. The guy's been the best goalkeeper in the world for like a decade. But let's be real, Father Time doesn't mess about, does he? Neuer's 38 now, and it's starting to show. He came back from another nasty injury, but I don't think he's fully back to his best. The reflexes aren't as sharp, and he's making mistakes that you wouldn't expect from him. It's weird seeing Neuer like this, because he's always been that sweeper keeper who's miles ahead of everyone else. But now, his reactions are just a bit slower, and those world-class saves he used to pull off, they're not happening as often. Bayern fans are still backing him though, and the club's even talking about extending his contract. That says a lot about how much they value him. But at the same time, they've got to be thinking about the future. You can't build a team around a 38-year-old goalkeeper, no matter how good he's been. To make things worse, Neuer had a rib injury that's kept him out recently. Bayern's been relying on their backups, and while they're decent, they're not on Neuer's level, even in his current form. But you can't keep relying on someone who's struggling to stay fit and consistent. It's a tough situation because Neuer's a Bayern legend. The fans love him, and he's done so much for the club, but football's brutal. And if you're not delivering, you're in trouble. The big question is whether Neuer can bounce back. For sure, he's got the experience and the mentality, but physically, I don't know, man. Age catches up with everyone, even the best. If Bayern's smart, they'll start looking for a keeper to take over, a young one. Someone who can learn from Neuer while he's still around. But for now, all eyes are on him to see if he can prove the doubters wrong. I hope he does, because it'd be sad to see his career fizzle out like this. Finally, 7. Randal Kolo Muani. This guy was supposed to be the next big thing. PSG splashed the cash to bring him in, and everyone thought he'd smash it. But bro, it's just not clicking for him. He was a beast at Eintracht Frankfurt, banging in goals and tearing up defences. But at PSG, he looks lost half the time. The pressure's different at a club like PSG. When you're playing alongside guys like Mbappe and Dembele, the expectations are sky high. You've got to perform every week, and if you don't, people start talking. And for Kolo Muani, the goals just aren't coming. He scored a couple, sure, but for the price tag PSG paid, you'd expect way more. It's like he hasn't figured out how to fit into the team yet. The thing is, PSG's style of play doesn't seem to suit him. At Frankfurt, he was the main man. Everything went through him. But at PSG, he's just another player. He's not getting the same service, and he doesn't look as confident. It's like he's second-guessing himself every time he's on the ball, and when you're playing at this level, confidence is everything. To make matters worse, the coach isn't helping. Luis Enrique's left him out the squad a couple of times recently, which is never a good sign. If the manager doesn't trust you, it's hard to get any kind of rhythm. And with all the talent PSG have, it's easy to see how Kolo Muani could get pushed to the side. There's even talk of him being sold or loaned out in January, which is mad, considering he's just got there. It's a shame because the talent's definitely there. You don't become one of Europe's top sought-after strikers by accident. But sometimes big moves don't work out, and it's not just about talent. It's about finding the right fit, and so far, PSG don't seem like the right fit for Kolo Muani. Hopefully he can turn it around, because it'd be a waste to see his potential go unfulfilled. So, yeah, these 7 guys, they're all struggling in their own ways this season. Whether it's age, tactics, or just bad form, they're not performing at the level we know they're capable of. And it's kind of sad. These players who've been world class in their prime and are now just, well, not. Can they bounce back? Maybe, but they've got to fix it up fast, because football doesn't wait for anyone. And if you're not delivering, you're getting replaced. Simple as that. Anyway, what do you guys think? Are these guys done, or is there still hope for them? Let's hear it.